he's going to be basically useless, isn't he? So that's actually good to know. So if we are up against something like that, then because they don't have any weapon proficiency, it makes things much, much easier for me. Ow. Oh dear. Hello and welcome back to our Duelist adventures, and as you can no doubt tell, we're gonna have a little bit of a try at forming a caravan here. So I'm gonna be going with better quality troops. I know this might be rather foolish, but I do have quite a lot of money as it is, and I wouldn't mind getting a little bit more passive generation. So we're just gonna use one of our companions, actually the only companion I currently have spare, and send him on his merry way. Now bear in mind that, actually I'm not entirely sure why Razi has been marked. It's probably because there is a fellow here that has given me a task. But upon completion of escorting the merchant caravan, we should have a pretty easy time of getting the reward. Ah, they're traveling to Askar. Okay, that's actually fantastic. Perfect timing. And the... Oh, wait a minute, are you... Oh. Oh. Oh, that was bad. That was very bad. And I can't believe it, actually. I am Viktor Meldrewing all over the place at this point in time. Wonderful, wonderful. If you have to Google who that is, then that is completely understandable, because that is a very old reference. If you get it, then props to you. And if you don't, well, then, yeah, maybe you'll learn something. I don't know. That's the point. It's a very old comedy series from the UK, and the main character tends to say, "I don't believe it," a lot. So yeah, that's his overall catchphrase. But yeah, we are going to absolutely massacre every single one of these bandits. I mean, I had no doubt in my mind that that was actually going to be the case. However, I'm very worried now. Extremely worried, because now I am going to have to deal with an overall rather uncomfortable situation where there are just so many casualties in the caravan's party that we're going to have a pretty hard time of things here. So I'm going to have to shadow them almost instantly. So let's do exactly that. As you can see right here, I have learned how to follow friendly parties on the world map, and I gotta say, it's actually very nice. As you can see right here, it is making things very easy indeed for us. Unfortunately, it seems as though the looters are still not giving up, so I will have to fight them. Oh, okay, apparently not. They are now giving up, amazingly enough. Okay, so I actually don't want to speak to them. I'd like to just go along with you. Thank you very much. Anyway, yeah, seems like that's what I need to do. Alright, so I'm going to continue trying to level up all of our forces, and obviously we do have prisoners available for possible recruiting and everything. Now I have to be very careful here, because you never know when a bandit party is going to come out of the woodwork and attempt to attack these fellows. Now bear in mind, look at this. There's literally a recruit, an armed trader, and a watchman. And I can wholeheartedly believe that those guys would be in grave trouble if we were to allow them to just run along any old random way. So we're going to have to form kind of like a natural barrier in between them and anyone else that wants to do them harm. Now, the main reason why I wanted to get a caravan up and running as well, by the way, is primarily because my aggression, shall we say, with the southern slavers is now over, because of course we joined as a mercenary with the Aserai, and it kind of reset some of our, shall we say, more vicious enemies' standpoints, and so as a result they are now not really bothering with us at all. They're kind of just relaxing, and we'll see what happens with that, because who knows, they might decide to attack me in the future, but that is definitely providing me with a great deal of security. Oh, speaking of security, I'm actually now ending up slaughtering animals to be able to feed... Oh, hello there. Ooh, now this might actually be something quite fun. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, this is great. Alright, we might be able to do something here. I am very much looking forward to this. So, Ragnaros. The Fire Lord. Yes, yes. If you know where that's from, then props to you as well. The references are flowing freely today by the looks of things. Alright, so now, bit of a problem. The caravan is probably gonna get attacked. Oh, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. Even if I fail, it doesn't matter because I kind of want to eliminate this guy. I kind of want to do that pretty badly, actually. Because anytime we can do a larger scale battle, it gives me more practice, it gives me more experience, it gives the party more experience, of course, as well. Bear in mind, however, that the caravan quest itself is going to be very lucrative at the very end of its cycle. And I am sacrificing quite a bit of cash, but I am hopeful that the loot and the varieties of other rewards that we'll gain from this, morale, renown, etc., will be substantial enough to kind of offset that a little bit. Alright, so let's go for a loose formation with our archers. That's generally what I tend to do. And we have a pretty decent amount of cavalry as well, so I'd like to be able to utilize them in this way. Oh, they don't have anything, do they? They seem to not have anything at all, but you can see here, loose formation for archers really makes a huge difference. Let's tell these guys to charge in now. It seems like, who's this? That's Najun. Ah, very good. Alright, I'm gonna need to re-tag him, because at the moment he's tagged as infantry and he has a horse, so it makes no sense. So that's gonna definitely be something I'll try to do. Let's get him. Let's get him. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. At least face them towards our archers, or face their backs towards our archers. That's basically what we can do. Oh yeah, I am dancing. I am the whirling steel blade of death and destruction around here, by the looks of things. At least at the moment. You know, next time I get shot in the face, or lanced in the face, or soft breeze in the face, then you can 100% guarantee that I will be face down in the desert sands, and it will be burning my face off, no doubt, because, well, let's face it, desert sands are quite, I mean, you know, during the day at least, quite hot, so obviously that's a bit of a problem. Anyway, I would like to try and eliminate everyone. Yeah, there we go. Thank you very much. Nicely done. Look at that. Good. 3 morale, 5 renown. Not bad. We took 0 casualties as well. And I will be taking him... Should I even bother taking him prisoner, actually? Because if I do take him prisoner, what's it going to give me, really? Because the diplomacy surrounding prisoners and so on doesn't really exist at the moment. It's much more of a case of... You take them prisoner, you keep them off the world map for a small amount of time, and then that's it. And then, you know, they either escape or you let them go or something like that. There's usually not that much ransom brokering between factions going on. So I'm actually thinking that we'll let him go, but only for the very selfish reason that I'd be able to defeat him again. Yeah. That I'd be able to defeat him again, and then hopefully, from there, well, get even more rewards. Yes, that's the kind of thing I'm thinking of right now. I think that could be quite cool. Also, wow, pretty nice stack of arrows right there. Ooh, long glaive. Yeah, glaives are really fun, actually. If only I had this weapon on my polearm using character. That would have been really, really cool, actually, but Obviously, at the moment, that's not really going to work. And I am going to be giving the stacked bodkin arrows to Najun. And speaking of Najun, I'm going to go into the party screen in just a second and re-tag him. I'm going to try and remember to do these things right away. Oh, look at that. Misclick. That was wonderful, wasn't it? All right, so how many? I have 31 Master Archers. Actually, I have a couple more now. I have 33, indeed, Master Archers. And I'm going to be leveling up a couple more of these noble units as well. Alright, so I'm now going to try to catch up with the caravan. It is, in my opinion, extremely unlikely I'll be able to do so, but just unlucky enough. Just unlucky enough not to get there in time. But that's not a big deal. As I've said before, I made a decision. My choice cost the caravan and the business owner quite a significant amount of money. However, I personally don't mind. I personally think that that is a perfectly acceptable thing to go for. I'm not going to go for the army of poachers or anything here. I just wanted to check out and see what's going on. I actually wanted to do a tournament if at all possible. But we're going to go into Askar here. Just take a look at the desert horse situation because I'd like to try and see if it maybe can increase my speed a little bit. No, it is actually slowing me down, if you can believe it. It is actually slowing me down by adding to my herd deficit. So that is obviously not very good at all. So I'm going to have to get rid of all those things. But on the other hand, what I am going to do is I'm going to buy a pretty significant amount of food. Because as you can no doubt tell, I just have cows, sheep, and hogs. And that is pretty much the only thing that is feeding my army at the moment, apart from a little bit of grain and meat. And obviously I gained the meat from the animals. So let's try and see if I can just get a little bit here and there. Let's get some dates, let's get some grapes, let's get some beer. Wow, there's a lot of beer here apparently. Let's get some olives, a little bit more meat, some cheese, wine, oil, and that will be that. There we go. Not too bad, not too bad. Alright, so we're going to continue on from Askar. I actually would like to recruit some troops as well, if at all possible. Yes, look at this. We're actually starting to get access to some of the higher tiers of unit as well, even though they are all still recruits. That's alright. That's not too bad. They're going to level up reasonably fast anyway. Alright, so I made my way over to Sonala, and I thought to myself, well, generally because Sonala is known for buying horses for a pretty decent sum, that I might try to sell some, but I have tried a little bit here, and it doesn't seem to really make any difference to my overall speed. So, it is now starting to make a difference. Okay, well that's good, because I did have a couple of extras. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll just sell 10, and we'll keep the rest, because you never know, because I have started to expand my army by a slight margin. And what we're otherwise going to do to try and clear out the rest of the 31,000 that they have available here, I'm literally just going to go and sell all of my loot, all of the armor and everything, and especially the lower tier stuff, as much as I possibly can. And we are getting to a point where I'm actually going to be selling very expensive items here, so I have to be a little bit careful. And there you go, there's another 30,000, and look at my trade experience right there. My trade experience increasing by a pretty good amount, so I'm happy with that. Ragnar? Wait a minute. Who's... Oh, Ragnar. That's another case of me getting a little bit confused, because obviously in Warband, King Ragnar is the leader of the Nords, and I consistently think that Ragnar is the leader of the Sturgians and Bannerlord as well, so hopefully you'll forgive me for that small little foible there. But anyway, I'm actually wanting to fight these guys because I've never fought them before, never seen these guys before in my life in this playthrough, and it would be quite cool to see what they're all about. They are called some very frightening things like Skull Boss and Skull Drinker and so on. So let's see if I can maybe engage them in a little bit of battle here. No, it seems like most of the mercenary companies that have joined up with the Aserai to help them out a little bit in their recent troubles are now starting to leave. which is absolutely fine. I don't have a problem with that. These guys are moving extremely fast. Oh, Bruce has gained a level. That's all thanks to his scouting skills. You can no doubt tell the scouting skill is leveling up like no one's business. That is the main reason why we're actually gaining any levels whatsoever. Because obviously, when we can get into a battle, yes, one-handed will definitely do the job, but we really don't have that many opportunities to do that. They're moving at 5.4, and we are indeed moving at 5.4, so I assume the only way that I can even catch them is at night? Yeah, I think I might have a small decimal advantage when it goes into nighttime. I would like to do this manually, but I'd also like to do it auto-resolve, because I feel like auto-resolve is going to give our units much more experience. And saying that, because the enemy is mostly cavalry, I'm just going to tell my forces just to charge straight on in. I don't see a point in holding position if we're just going to allow these cavalry to charge all against us. And bear in mind that some of these are going to be very, very high tier. Get him, get him. Yeah. Oh, that was a nice hit. Very good. Oh, that was a nice one too. Okay, I'm being a little bit careful here, but I have noticed that the opponent has almost no polearms. As far as I'm aware, they're not using any polearms whatsoever. So if they're not using polearms, that gives me almost free reign to do whatever I want, because that means I can't die instantly, you know. If they have a spear or anything that can couch lance, then I'm a little bit more dubious about getting stuck in there, but you can see here that our forces are able to deal with them relatively simply. We are losing a couple of forces, but they are mostly Aserai recruits, as you can no doubt tell there. And, well, if you don't send in recruits, then they're never going to gain experience, and then, well, they're just going to stay recruits, and that's obviously not something that we really want, is it? And there is a nice victory for us. 1.4 morale, 1.8 renown. Really nothing to write home about here. However, I am going to be capturing them, mainly because I would like to... Oh, wow. That is a really nice shield. I would like to be able to give that to Najun, I believe. This is... Actually, this is worse than what he's using. Are you serious right now? I personally don't agree. I think that this I think that this shield is better, so I'm actually going to be giving that to him. There is a wonderful Berserker two-handed axe as well, the drilled two-handed axe. Highly recommended if you're playing as a Berserker and you have this mod installed. Definitely get your hands on one of these axes by fighting these Northern Liberators. They seem to have these things equipped in spades, and we do have a Northern decorated Halbok, which is actually pretty good. It's obviously not as good as what Mr. Bruce is wearing, but it's definitely a minor upgrade for Najun, and that is exactly what we want it for, so there you go. Anyway, we have been lured out into, well, no man's land once again. Oh well, let's see what happens. Let's see if any faction decides to declare war against us. If they don't, in the next few days... Ooh, Crusade deserters. Alright, so this time around, what I'm basically going to do, because we already know what the Crusade are capable of, I'm just going to literally do an auto-resolve. We lost 0? I'm very surprised at that. I have no idea how I was able to sustain no casualties whatsoever. Okay, interesting. Very interesting indeed. Okay, well, whatever the case, I guess I will just be recruiting as many prisoners as I can get my hands on, and leveling up even more of our forces. There we go. Alright, so I guess I'm just going to take all the prisoners, because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to Askar real quick after this. There is another fine steel saber, but that's not really going to be better than what we're currently using. Oh, and I didn't even take the loot. Yep, I knew that was going to happen at some point. My bad, my bad. But it's absolutely fine, as you can no doubt tell. We are doing perfectly in terms of money, and I do have a lot of extra loot in my inventory still waiting to be sold. Well, this is quite a sight and a half, isn't it? What is this? What is this prize right here? I've never heard of this ever before, so, well, let's find out, shall we? Let's go in and see. Ah, it's a camel. It is actually a type of camel. Okay, that's actually very interesting. I've never seen that before, ever, so this is going to be very cool. I also like the format of this tournament. All 1 versus 1s, and then into basically like a 1 versus 1 in team form, and then 1 versus 1 in team form once again, and then 1 versus 1 in the final. I think that sounds like a lot of fun. And there we go. We've been given a sword. Let's see what we can do. Hello there. I am ready. Oh, that was a nice hit. And he's dead. Well, that was easy enough. I feel like my one-handed skill is probably just too good for the middle tier units now. And I'm not even talking about the Ascendants of Wrath or anything like that, because... Oh, what? He lost? I'm really surprised that he ended up losing that. I felt like the Ascendant of Wrath was going to be an absolute monster, but apparently not. Maybe he was given a less than adequate weapon for his proficiency, because of course many of these new units do not have any proficiency in a lot of the other weapon types, and as a result, ouch. And as a result, they are pretty much useless if they get those weapons in a tournament. So for example, the Ascendant of Wrath, I believe, is extremely good with two-handed weapons. But the Aserai territories are not really big fans of two-handed weapons in tournaments. And as a result, he's going to be basically useless, isn't he? So that's actually good to know. So if we are up against something like that, then because they don't have any weapon proficiency, it makes things much, much easier for me. Ow. Oh dear. Oh, okay. Whew. I was tense. I was very tense right there. That was a little bit too close for my liking, but all right. We actually did manage to. I have no idea how that actually happened, by the way, because we were in a situation where I couldn't possibly block against both of them, so I kind of had to just, I don't know, flit my eyes back and forth between the two targets and then just try and decide who's going to actually attack, because of course the AI does tend to feint sometimes. They don't really feint that often, but they do it every so often, so it is a little bit worrying when that happens, but oh well. Obviously I'm not using a shield either, so it is more frightening. Okay, come on now. Yeah, nice. Good little bit of damage right there. I'm going for a couple of back slashes, if you know what I mean. So these kinds of things from the left, because if you do those, they're usually a little bit quicker than the regular slash from the right side. So if you go from the left, it tends to be a bit quicker. I don't know whether that's just me or whether it's because of the feel the hit mod or something like that. But whatever the case, it does really make a pretty big difference in how fast the swing is able to deal damage. And it really makes all the difference in the world to beat your opponent in a speed contest, because that's basically what it is, you know. These kinds of 1 versus 1 situations, it just comes down to how fast someone is with the swing of their weapon, and that's it. Doesn't matter how much damage is being done, as long as it's more than about 10 or 12 or something like that. As long as it's enough to daze the opponent, that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. Alright, so I have been selling quite a bit of my armor here, my spare armor, so we're just going to continue doing that. As you can see right there, we've got another 18,000 from that, and there is actually... there is actually another tournament, so I will be doing this just purely for the renown. And who knows, I might not even get past the first round, because Dalaga the Loud, he doesn't seem to be that good, but he was able to kill that Azurai skirmisher with a little bit of assistance from me, of course. Get him. Oh, okay, Dalaga. Oh, apparently he means quite a bit of business. He certainly does. Now, I am a little bit frightened by Hashan. Now, bear in mind that obviously in the past, I've said that multiple times about the various vassals that have potentially joined the tournament. And they always get themselves killed instantly, and that is no different here. That has happened once again, so it's a bit weird, isn't it? A bit weird. Oh well, never mind. It's kind of annoying that we always have Dalaga with us, to be honest. I would much prefer it if we were with someone else, but now I have, yes, an Ascendant of Wrath. Hopefully he doesn't have a two-handed weapon. No, it doesn't seem like he does. We do have another person with a bow, though, which is a bit problematic. Oh, he's swinging really fast, actually. Oh, that was the Imperial Trained Infantryman. Never mind. Okay, yeah, so this Ascendant of Wrath, as you can see right here, is literally not going to be able to do anything with a bow. I believe they don't have any bow skill at all, so they're basically going to be probably the most useless unit in the entire game in that moment, which is great. That is absolutely fine, because if we meet them on the field of battle, well, it's not going to be that easy. I'm going to kick him. Oh, no. Okay, never mind. I'm going to kick him now. Oh, no. He outranged it. Did you see that? He outranged my kick just when I was about to do it. He knew, you see. He knew, because we had been fighting side by side for basically the entirety of the whole tournament. He knew our fighting style. And, yeah, that grinds my gears quite a bit. Oh, well, never mind. I did actually win a pointy stick. Yes, a pointy stick, which is obviously one of my weapons that I crafted in a previous episode, so that's great, isn't it? Anyway, it seems to me like what I will be doing, or at least ending up doing, is leaving the kingdom, and the nobles of the realm will dislike you. Are you serious? Okay, wait a minute. How long is it going to take me to not become a mercenary any further? So let me actually just have a look here. There I am. Alright, so he's 24. When did he become a mercenary? I actually can't tell. It's been quite a while, so generally I feel like I should... I don't know. I generally feel like I should be able to leave relatively soon. I think maybe summer 19 or something along those lines. I think, do they not ask you? I don't know whether they do, actually, in Bannerlord, because it's been a while since I've been a mercenary, but whatever the case, I am going to think about leaving the Azurai and joining an alternate faction, literally just to become a bit more opportunistic in that aspect, because you can see right here, there are no wars going on whatsoever with the Azurai, and if there were, I would have already fought more vassals. You can mark my words on that. I find it extremely fun to fight enemy vassals. So let's actually just take a quick look at the diplomacy right here, so you can see already that the Northern Empire is not doing so well, so maybe they would benefit. Oh, Britannia is doing massively well. Western Empire is doing alright, Southern Empire is alright, Sturgia, Flandia, not entirely sure, but it does actually say who people are at war against. So you can see here that they're at war against a whole bunch. Obviously, it's not really giving me a very accurate display because of all the new factions that have been added, but, well, that's the point. So I think, you know what? I'm going to leave right now. There we go. Ended its mercenary contract, and they don't seem to dislike me at all, so that's actually fine, because we are indeed a mercenary and we're not a vassal. I feel like that warning message needs to not be there, because it might prevent people from actually leaving and exploring more of the options in the game world, and I feel like that is a great shame, especially in a game that has so much freedom like Mountain Blade already does. So we're going to see what's going on here. I don't really know who to join at this point. I'm thinking we might try to... Oh, hello. Ah, yeah, now we're at war against the Southern Slavers again. That's actually hilarious. Alright, well, seems like as soon as we are independent, the Southern Slavers very much want to murder us. So that's interesting. Ooh, lordly padded mittens. That means a lot. Lordly prefix usually are very good. Yeah, these are decent. These are decent, but nothing to write home about really. So obviously, doesn't really make much sense to me doing this. But I think for the renown reward. Oh, this guy's moving fast. What? Oh, he's a sheriff with a one-handed. Whoa. Alright. Yeah. Him being a sheriff, that scares me, actually, quite a bit. Thankfully, he didn't get through, but that is very scary. As we know, they do have about 250... Oh, no. Oh, yes. Oh, phew. Okay, I thought to myself, oh no, they've given me a bow. Well, that's not really going to work very well, but thankfully, I do have a secondary weapon here, and hopefully I'll be able to use it. Ow! See, this is what I mean. Spearmen. Spearmen are actually quite dangerous. Get him. Yes. Nice little 84 hit right there. I say little, but it was actually pretty significant damage. Okay, let's not die from this guy. I think I'm probably going to go for the enemy archer. Oh, that was close. He almost took me down right there. Oh, he couched. You see that? He couched even though I blocked. Ooh. This is risky. Oh, what I wouldn't give for a ranged weapon right now. Look at this. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I feel like that is kind of contaminating the theme a little bit. You know, I will use ranged weapons if it gives me some kind of advantage, but in my opinion, with my very limited bow skill, I feel like it's just a disadvantage at this point. Alright, there we go. So we're up against a Azerite footman. Alright. Ooh, just gotta bait him, you see. Just gotta feint a little bit. That's the key with some of these lower tier units, because they don't have the attack speed to be able to keep up with Bruce's, at least at the moment. Oh, and that guy just didn't even bother blocking, did he? No, he didn't even bother blocking. That was fantastic. Alright, so there you go. Another 6 renown for us. That's basically the only reason why I'm doing that, because as you can see, my renown is skyrocketing up just from me literally doing tournaments. So I have said in the past, by the way, that this particular perk is, in my opinion, useless. However, I actually don't agree with that anymore. I don't agree with that assessment, because yes, okay, double renown from tournaments. Usually you get 3, now I'm getting 6. Okay, yeah, you know, that's pretty good actually, especially early on, because I am still a tier 2 clan, and any additional renown that I can get to improve the speed of my clan leveling up, that is pretty much all that you really want. Obviously the 20% more damage while wielding a one-handed weapon without a shield, that doesn't really matter either, at least in my opinion. But for the sake of the theme, it really makes a huge difference. Anyway, I think I'm probably going to be leveling up scouting skill again. Primarily because we are starting to get to a point where we are unable to level scouting any further, and I'd like to be able to increase that once more. I do need to think about speccing into smithing as well, because generally I don't really care about these perks at all, but I'd like to be able to get more skill in smithing at least. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Next time, I'm probably going to have already joined a new faction. And by all means, leave me a comment and let me know which faction you think I should join as a mercenary. And we'll see where we can go from there. I'd recommend probably not Botania and probably not the Crusade, because they are going to be way too powerful at the end of our tenure there. So we'll see. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like, and I'll see you next time.